We were taking contact pretty heavily. Rounds were bouncing everywhere. You could see the dust pick up. You could see the ricochet. You could hear the ricochets.
As first squad was moving down, when they got pinned down really hard, that's where Specialist Ortiz got a shot in his leg.
Somebody threw out smoke, tried to get some concealment. Obviously, the insurgents didn't care. They just kept on opening up. With all our air assets we had out there, they still kept on coming at us with everything they had.
And that's when PFC Cook opened up his rate of fire and allowed us to maneuver to a safer position and just get out of there.
So we continued to lay down some heavy fire, me and Cook, and I went down to reload again. And I was just hearing a couple of my friends saying that they're running out of ammo, they have to reload. So Cookie decided to pick up the rate of fire, stood up a little bit, and started laying down some really heavy stuff, just shooting everything he had on his weapon.
After we picked up, and then all that gunfire came down on us, that's when that Cook, Garcia, the other gun team, all of them picked up fire. So me and my AG, because I was a machine gunner then, sat back down, started shooting, and all of a sudden, a couple moments later, I just hear Garcia yelling Cook's name, you know.
I heard a shot, and I just see my boy fall right over, and he stood up, trying to help out our first squad.
You know, here's a guy, he's 19, his first real firefight. You know, sees his brothers are pinned down. You know, more than half the platoon was pinned down, either in a kill zone or too far away to shoot. And, you know, he sees an enemy machine gunner pinning down the squad. And, you know, we're facing an enemy force 4 to 5 times the size of our platoon at the time. You know, he raises from cover, totally exposing himself even through the crazy amount of fire we were getting poured on us. You know, he silenced that gun and he drew the fire off of the other squads, and he really saved the day that day. So
I saw Cookie was hit on the left side of his neck, and I immediately thought, you know, he's done. But I got closer. I dragged him to me a little closer. I get closer, and I immediately just looked in and put my hand over his wound and just held it on there as much as pressure as I can. And with rounds were just flying by us, just hitting, ricocheting off us.
At that time, Specialist Mayor, our medic, ran through just a hailstorm of bullets and showed up, dove for cover, started treating him. I moved up to their position, started helping out. By that time, we had so many air assets that we were dropping so many rounds that they had started to slow down the rate of fire at which they were pinning us down, and our third squad had maneuvered to a relatively safer position than it was, and first squad was starting to get out of the kill zone. And I mean, there's just even with the medics working on it, there's just nothing we could do. He died about
a half hour,
and about 8 to 10 minutes later after he got hit. At that point, we started 4 of us. We took the Skedco with covering fire. We started moving in down the mountain, and that's when we linked up with the rest of the platoon. There was 27 of us up there, and we had other casualties. Sergeant Ramirez was taking shrapnel. Garcia got hit in the arm. Specialist Ortiz had gotten hit. And we had
Private McHenry got shot twice.
We had 6 or 7 casualties besides Cook, and there was only about 27 of us up there.
There was nothing but a hail of gunfire that day, and he stood up and just opened up with his weapon and just unloaded everything he had on it, and just shot everything he had, and just continued to lay down rates of fire until he went down. And like I said, just probably wouldn't be a lot of guys from our first and third squad right now. So
without a doubt, yeah, PFC Cook saved the day by, you know, raising himself from cover, spotting that enemy machine gun that was pinning down first squad, and opening up on him, even putting himself exposed at risk. So without him doing that, you know, I don't think a lot of members from first squad would be here.
PFC Cook, Nicholas, Nick, Nicholas Scott Cook. I gave him the nickname Cookie just because, and he got to our unit, brand new, just out of Airborne school. Probably the most chillest, just really laid back kid ever. 19 years old, from Hungry Horse, Montana. Kid, he was excited about going downrange, very excited. He loved the snowboard. He loved all the extreme kind of sports, definitely from a mountain area. Nothing could ever upset this kid. Nothing. There would be days that would be forever. Things wouldn't go right sometimes, and nothing would faze him. He was just so laid back and just relaxed every time you talked to him. The way he spoke was just chill. He loved to go outside, loved to go to the mountains and snowboard all the time. He loved jumping. He was always excited about when we jumped, always. Just a fun guy, loving guy.
You know, as a soldier, I mean, his actions on March 7th should tell you enough about him. I mean, he was dedicated, he was fearless. I mean, standing up in the face of an enemy when you're outnumbered 4 or 5 to 1, and you know, he took that initiative. He exposed himself so that his fellow paratroopers would make it home that day, even though he might not. So, I mean, it takes a lot to stand up and to expose yourself in that kind of a gunfight, and he did it. You know, just as a soldier, just outstanding, never complained, always a go-to guy. Just a really, really important member of the team, the squad, platoon. So, just well-liked guy.
He's a very outgoing guy. There'd be times where we'd be sitting on guard at the same time, and we'd talk for hours about home life, where we've been, what we want to do.
Afghanistan was his second home.
Oh yeah.
He loved those mountains.
He always wanted to snowboard those mountains, especially the couple times we got snow. Oh yeah. He was the first one to say it too. You come outside, it's cool. Let's go see the CO, let us shred them.
Let's go shred those mountains. If he had a rucksack and a snowboard, he would definitely go down him.
He'd have done it.
He would have done it. He would have done that.
You know, it was really rough for us. You know, we left early that morning. You know, we left with the whole squad, and we came back, and we were missing somebody. And that night they came and they cleared out his room of all his stuff, and it was, you know, just like that. They had to clean off his gear. You know, just looking at his empty bed, it was hard, especially for the guys that knew him. You know, it was really, really hard on our platoon, especially the squad, just because, you know, he had no enemies in the platoon. All he had was friends, so it was just really rough on everybody. And I think at the time it was, you know, it was painful, but at moments it was still surreal. And, you know, we had to fight to keep ourselves in the game, just because, you know, 27 guys, 7 of them wounded, casualties, or killed. So, I mean, until we got out of that situation, I don't think it really hit me until we were down all the way back at the trucks. And I think it really hit me when I saw the Skedco getting brought up by the medevac bird, and I knew that was probably the last time I was going to see him. So
it was definitely hard for me. It was especially like back in the rear. We were always, you know, hanging out. He was right next door to me in the barracks, so, you know, he was in my squad. He was in my team. You know, he was a brand new guy to the company, so, you know, I took him under the wing and just take care of him. Then we went down range, and it was just every time he was my workout partner. We always go work out, always hitting the gym. And then when we were times off, we always chill, just hang out, play a game or something, talk about home, talk about life, whatever. It was definitely after, you know, I saw him get hit, saw him go down. Then we got him back. He got airlifted, and then since then I haven't seen him again. But then, since it's definitely hit hard at home now, since we're back in the rear, that, you know, he's not here anymore. You know, I can't run to his room anymore because he's not there. You know, I asked a couple of your friends, let's go out. You know, there's one guy's missing from the crew. You know, it's very hard. It's definitely different not seeing that guy anymore, not seeing that one person anymore. But, you know, you learn to accept it, you know, get over it, and you got to move on. You know, he's in a better place now, but he's never going to be forgotten. So he's always going to be my little brother, if anything. Always going to be my little brother. So